What you think would be crazier, that bear stealing all that candy or MetalJesus having a whole house dedicated to a game room?
Angel Knot.
Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy Young Sinai. So today we're going to be watching a video of MetalJesus's game house. I'm going to call it, because it's not just a game room. I've seen this video before. I saw it a few years back and it is crazy. And I mentioned it on a couple other videos and I said I would react to it on here. So that's what we're going to do. But for those of you all who don't know, your boy is a proud ADHDer, okay? When I was getting things ready for this, I stumbled across a video that we're going to watch that has nothing to do with what you clicked here for. But I promise you will not regret it, okay? I haven't watched it yet, but it's titled 500-Pound Bear Repeatedly, in all caps, steals candy from gas station. We gotta see this. Then we'll get to the MetalJesus stuff, okay? All right, bear with me, y'all. No pun intended. I ain't even trying to do that.
All the pieces matter.
All right.
Paul High is working the graveyard shift when he comes face to face with a 500-pound black bear.
Oh, snap.
I was on my way to go.
Yo, the fact that he was like, get out of here. Yo, give this man a raise.
Change the outside trash, and I was walking towards our automatic door, and it opened. And then I seen him try to come in, so I stepped towards him, and then he comes into the store, kind of lunges at me.
And though working in this area has given Paul plenty of bear handling experience, this time is different.
I usually have to run him off at least once or twice a night.
Let me know. Do y'all think that bear is obeying these COVID, stop here. You think that the bear is adhering to those rules?
Out of the parking lot, never out of the store though. I was just trying to get him out. That way he didn't, trash the whole place.
And this bear's behavior is making that much easier said than done.
As soon as the bear lunged at me, my whole train of thought changed, and I was just like, yeah, you can have whatever you want, man. Just take it and go.
Fortunately, there's one item in particular that looks a little tastier than Paul.
He actually grabs a bag of Snickers and leaves.
Yo, that's
The
hilarious.
bag of candy bars isn't the bear's only score. On another night,
that was the other graveyard guy. His name is Dave. Apparently that night, the bear laid down on the floor and ate a whole box of Three Musketeers.
Dang. Yo, this bear got a sweet tooth.
but even after the sweet feast, Paul's co-worker has a much more difficult time getting the bear out of the store and calls for help. When authorities arrive, the bear finally acquiesces.
Why they gonna call the police on the bear, dog? The bear chilling. It ain't hurt nobody. That is the coolest bear. That bear cooler than Winnie the Pooh.
But not before grabbing one more snack for the road.
Yo, that bear is straight up G. It straight stole in front of the police officer. Like, do something.
The spontaneous visit stopped after the California Department of Fish and Wildlife capture the bear and release him somewhere far away, making it one less troublesome, cranky customer for Paul and his co-workers to bear with.
It was not in the job description to get bears out of the store when I was hired. That was not part of the deal.
Yes, it was. See, that's why you got to start reading fine print of jobs. He just probably clicked accept terms and conditions and didn't read nothing. It was there. Wow. That was crazy. All right, so let me know in the comments what you think would be crazier, that bear stealing all that candy or MetalJesus having a whole house dedicated to a game room. I think those are like toss up, both pretty crazy. All right, now the video that you all came for. I appreciate you all who stuck around and watched that. Let me know if you like the bear video. Go ahead and drop a bear emoji in the comments.
Brand new game room tour. Now, when I say game room,
This ain't brand new because this was shot like 3 years ago, but it's still dope. I wonder if he has changed it since then.
it's actually an entire floor of my house. It's actually 3 different rooms.
Yo, his wife a G. His wife a G for that one. My wife a G too, you feel me? Because like the bottom, like the entire basement setup I have is like pretty much mine. So my wife a G too, but his wife a G.
And takes up about 1,000 square feet. And it's been 2 years since I did my last game room tour. And in that time, a lot of things have changed, both big and small. So I'm very excited to bring you this updated video. I think you're gonna dig it. Let's take a look.
I should have saw if there was an update since this update, but I typed in MetalJesusRocks game room or game house. I don't know what I typed in. And I think this is the latest one.
We're gonna go ahead and start in the main room. And like I said, there's a lot of big things and small things that have changed in here. So that's primarily what I'm gonna focus on in this video. Starting with, you'll notice that I have 3 televisions in this particular area. I actually upgraded the larger television. You see the old one right here. I'm guessing that's probably 55 inches, but I upgraded to this 65-inch LG. This is a 4K television. And I did that because, well, I realized I have so much room on that wall for a larger television, and I'm gaming so much down here anyways. Might as well make the jump. And honestly, I got a screaming deal on it. They're having a massive sale, so I jumped at the chance to upgrade that television. And then to the left of that, you'll notice that I have my old school flat screen CRT sitting there. And I moved it because, frankly, I wanted easier access to it because I was using it more and more. It's such a great television. And another thing that convinced me is getting the Mister.
So I have seen the Mister. I kind of know what it is. I know it emulates via FPGA, right? My bad. I couldn't remember the initials for that, so I was looking on my analog pocket. Explain to me in the comments what exactly the Mister does.
This is an amazing little device, and when it's plugged into an old school CRT, the games look incredible. They look like they are supposed to look. And so this was definitely a very good decision on my part.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Mister is like hardware emulation versus software emulation. Do I have that right?
And speaking of this entertainment center here, a lot has changed in there. Specifically, well, new gaming consoles have come out. So you see that I have the PlayStation 5 right there. I have those custom red, I don't know what they call those things, like blades right there. So that's my PlayStation 5. And then right below that, I have the Xbox Series X. And both of these consoles look and play amazing on this big screen TV. Another thing that's changed in the last couple of years is all of the clone systems have come out. So you see a bunch of them right here, starting with some of the Hyperkin. Now, some of these I've had for a while. Some of them are a little bit on the newer side. These are the kind of older ones here. But then I have the Poly Mega and also all of its accessories that are currently available for it. This console gets a lot of use. I've mentioned that in the past. It's primarily for me used for all of the disc-based systems currently. That's the purpose that it really serves in my game room. So I have all the Sega CDs, Sega Saturn stuff on there, PlayStation 1 games, and yeah, I dig it a lot. And of course, how can I not forget the analog clone systems that have come out, including the one for the NES, the Super NES, also the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive, and their digital to audio converter right there.
Those things are, I think, sold out now. When I looked on their website, I think they're either sold out or stupid expensive. I don't remember. It was one of the two. Either way, I want to get one, you know what I mean?
As well as the Analog Pocket, which is happily charging to the left of the screen there. I love that device. And to clarify, I still have all my...
Shout out Analog Pocket boys. Shout out the Analog Pocket Boys.
My original consoles, and really nothing will truly replace those, especially when it comes to nostalgia. But I do appreciate how some of these clone systems give you HDMI out, 1080p video, and a bunch of other new features. To the left of there is something that has also...
Let me know, did you have a TurboGrafx X? Nobody I knew had one of those growing up. That's actually Kanye West's favorite. I know he's a controversial figure right now. That's actually Kanye West's favorite game console. I think that he was actually going to name an entire album that, and then he scrapped it. I don't rock with Kanye right now, just a heads up. But just throwing out some facts.
Changed in the last couple of years, and you will see that I have now 3 shelves of nothing but handhelds. I used to only have...
Yeah, this is what we here for, boys. This is what we here for. Let's see what he got.
1 shelf, but honestly, I have so many handhelds and I wanted to display them. So I put 2 more shelves up there to kind of give this history of gaming handhelds. And I just love...
See, that's what I got to do with my handheld collection. My handhelds is kind of a mess. Like, I got them like all together, but it's really just for charging purposes. Because if I set it up like this, I'm like, well, how's it going to be charged if I go to grab one, you know?
Love how this looks. And part of the reason why this looks so cool is because of a website called rosecoloredgaming.com. I've been using their acrylic stands for years.
Hey, a sec. Ooh, wee boy, he got him all, boy. See, I was just about to talk about a Sega Nomad because I had one of those, but I also had an Atari Lynx, so that's cool that they right by each other. Let me know, did you have a Sega Nomad? You know, that mo was cold.
If you know, you know.
And all of them that you see here are from that website. I love that site. They do amazing work. And what I like about it is that they give you a bunch of variety. So you can get the clear ones if you want to keep them somewhat subtle, but they also have some of the colored special edition ones if you have some special handhelds that you just want to show off. And they've even got really obscure handhelds like the Sony Pocket Station. I was amazed to see that. So if you have a bunch of gaming handhelds...
Hey, I don't know if my volume just changed or not. I tried to turn it up. My kids was playing on my desk and like messing with all the knobs. When I came, everything was just pushed up on all the knobs. So I apologize if the sound was off. I just tried to turn it up. Hopefully it sounds better. Lucky, if you could try to fix it in the editing, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
And you're looking for a way to display them, check out Rose Colored Gaming. Now moving around the same area, you'll notice that I also have this third television there. It is a Vizio HD television. Now, this one has a bit of a history with me because I originally got it from Kinsey, I think. I think she gave it to me. I used it in my old game room because I loved it because it has so many different connection types in the back. It's actually pretty amazing how many systems it supports. Then she took it back because she needed it in her bedroom. But now that she's moved to Japan, well, it's back in my game room. And so this is...
Yo, so something completely irrelevant. So I'm on a tangent, my bad. I am a real coffee drinker, okay? And the way you know I'm a real coffee drinker is it is 2:09 in the morning and I am drinking coffee despite these lights beaming on me, making me extremely hot. And I'm drinking coffee, making me even more hot. But I love my coffee, you feel me?
If you know, you know.
All right, let's get back to it.
It's just one of, I think, one of the more versatile HD televisions ever made. It's got every connection possible that you would ever want. So it's cool to have it in my game room. And to that point, underneath that TV, you'll see that there is a wide variety of consoles that are stored there and ready to be connected to it.
Hey, he got the, let me run it back. What was this device? Hold on.
See that there is a wide variety of...
That's the Panasonic. That's not the Panasonic that when Nintendo fell out with Sony, they decided that they were just going to go with Panasonic? Is that right? Is that what that is? Am I tripping? Am I messing that story up? Let me know. Is that or is that something completely different?
Of consoles that are stored there and ready to be connected to it. But I wanted to highlight two of them that are fairly new to my collection. Starting with the Super Nintendo, although technically it's not new.
Hey, that's clean right there.
I've had it for a while, but the translucent case definitely is. Cody at Pink Gorilla swapped out my old yellow case for this transparent one. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. And then I also got this Launch Team 2001 original Xbox. I love this thing because it has the signature from Bill Gates on there. And then some of you have noticed in our game pickups videos that I do with Reggie that the couch changed in here. Upstairs in our old living room, we had these really nice recliners that just weren't getting used in our new home. And so my wife convinced me, she's like, hey, instead of selling these off or giving them to somebody else, why don't you use them down in the game room? And she was 100% right, because they are so comfortable. And it's fun.
Wives always be right.
Because as soon as I moved them down here, Susie started taking it over as her bed. So it's pretty funny. It's pretty cute. Every day she comes down and she crashes on them. So, yep, they're pretty comfortable. Another big change that's happened in the last year is the way I store and display some of my loose cartridges. This is how this shelving unit used to look 2 years ago. And you'll notice that I have a bunch of loose NES cartridges, Super Nintendo cartridges, and a bunch of others. And this is how it looks now. So this is all thanks to a website called miniboxgaming.com. It's an Etsy store, and what they do is create these custom boxes for you to put your loose cartridges in.
Oh, that's hard. Oh, that's dope. Oh, that's dope. All right, I'm gonna have to write that down. Hold up. Mini.
And what I love about it is that they are just barely larger than the cartridge itself. So you can't put a manual or anything else in there. It's not meant to be that. It's meant to be for people like me who have a really large, loose game collection, but want to kind of make it look better.
That's cold as a mug, dog.
So the guy that runs that website, he does an amazing job of recreating these boxes, but shrunk down so that you can basically fit more of them on a shelf.
What a brilliant idea. I know I said I watched this years ago, but I don't remember this.
And as you can see, the quality is...
I don't remember any of this. I just remember it was a ton of rooms.
It's really good. So this is a pretty nice solution for people like me. I love how these look. When people come over, they're always like really surprised to see these. They wonder what they are. And again, they're not going to be for everybody, because if you're going for a complete in box, of course, this isn't a solution. And, for me, I don't really care. I just like the way that they look. I think it looks a lot better in the game room. So I'm very happy with these. The other thing I've done over the last couple of years is try to decorate a little bit more, kind of fill it out and make it look a little bit more fun. If you watch the original game room tour I did 2 years ago.
Is that a sealed Earthbound? Hold on. He flexing. Yo. We're on to you. He like low-key flexing without saying it.
Very happy with these.
Hold on.
The other thing I've done over the last couple of years is try to decorate a little bit more.
Look at this.
Kind of fill it out and make
he just show it off so slightly in the background for those who know.
it look a little bit more fun. If you watch
that boy got a sealed Earthbound.
The original game room tour I did 2 years ago, some of the walls are looking a little bare. It was only 2 months after I'd moved in, and I, got the game room set up as quickly as possible. But I've really tried to take some time and put a little bit more personality in my game room. As you can see here, I have some of my favorite classic sports cars sitting there on a shelf. I've also got some 45s right there. Just kind of, again, jazzing up the place a little bit, giving it purple rain, a little bit more personality. And of course, I still got that Marshall amp refrigerator that I got at Costco. Everybody who comes over and checks out my game room loves this thing. It looks so authentic. I mentioned previously that when I moved into this house, I really invested in quite a few Philips Hue Lights. And I love these lights. I loved them when I first installed them and set them up. And I've just been adding even more of them over, a couple months here and there. Basically I'll find a part of the game room that maybe needs a little bit more lighting, maybe a little bit more backlighting. Now, Philip Hue Lights are not...
He got me looking around my office like, where do I need more lighting?
cheap, and there are probably other cheaper solutions out there. However, what I like about the lights is that once you get into their ecosystem and use their app and program them to do what you want, I really like them. So yeah, they're a little bit on the expensive side, but I think you get what you pay for in this case. Speaking of decorating, I do want to point out this really cool piece right here. So this was sent to me by a guy named Brett, who played the demo for this Babylon 5 game back at E3 in 1999. This game never came out, but yet he got the poster for it. So he actually donated it to this game room, and I absolutely love it. So thank you so much, Brett. One of the best parts of buying this house and having this room down here for a game room was the inclusion of this built-in bar. This is something I never had before, and I wasn't entirely sure how much...
I don't think I've seen this. I don't know if I've seen this. He has 2 videos. This might not be the one that I saw. I hope this is the one that's got multiple rooms, but I don't think I've seen this one.
I would use it when we first moved in, but I absolutely love it. I love it really for 2 reasons. The first being that it's really great when you have people over. I mean, people can be sitting in the other area playing games, or they can be sitting at a bar talking and chilling, having a beer,
playing games,
or having some food. It's just really great for that. And to that point, notice that I have the Oculus Quest 2 set up here, so anybody can walk up and just grab it and play some VR games. Or if arcade style games are more your speed, I have the Evercade Versus set up here, and anybody can walk up and just grab a controller. And the other thing is for shooting YouTube videos. So it's just the perfect height for me to shoot all of that B-roll that I need when I need to show a box, a cartridge, or some sort of product. I have this whole bar right here, and it's just so easy to shoot video with. And so as you can tell, this entire space is just so awesome. But this is only the first room of 3.
Okay, he is going to show multiple rooms. I don't know if this is the video I've seen, but we're going to see.
As we go down the hallway, this is another place where I wanted to kind of jazz things up a little bit because, before it was just white walls, and it's a fairly narrow hallway, so it's... I can't really put shelving or anything like that up, otherwise I'd whack my head on something. But I did want to decorate it a little bit, and you can see that I have here lots of posters and advertisements for some of my favorite bands. And then check out these 2 acrylic posters here, one of them for Fallout 4 and the other one for Doom. These used to be hanging at the Bethesda headquarters.
Wow.
How cool is that? Here I have my entire PSP collection. And last video...
This is super random, but you guys know Thor Gaming, I think is what he goes by. He shows how to develop games. He's an indie developer. His dad was the dad, or his dad, hold on, how do I say this? South Park, that World of Warcraft episode? They based that off of his dad. That's crazy.
You guys thought that was so funny that I was shaming my PSP collection down the hallway in this I don't know, this little closet or whatever. But the truth is that the PSP is one of my larger collections of games, and so it just seemed like a very natural place to put it. I mean,
oh my gosh, he has so many games. You want to know the crazy part? Because we talk on this channel about is it a game collection or is it a game museum? I feel like he be playing every last one of these games. I don't think that he buys games and just lets them sit. I think he plays every single game.
as you can see, it's almost overflowing. I've got stuff on top and Most of the shelves are full. I'm going for a complete collection, so I do need the room to store them. So it's not because I don't like the PSP, far from it. It's just it needs its own dedicated area. And speaking of closets, you see this one right here. This is one of many different storage closets in this hallway. But this one's really nice. I finally went in and organized it. As you can see here, it's just a mishmash of original boxes. There's a bunch of controllers in here. There's a bunch of grips.
We gonna skip the boxes.
Do you have a bathroom? And yeah, one of these doors is actually the laundry room and a full bath.
All right, skipping that. Boring.
You know, if you need original video, it's basically kind of like a storage room in here. And as you see, it's a mix of a bunch of big box PC games, bunch of PSP movies in here, those UMD movies. I also have some music DVDs in here. I've been collecting those over the last couple of years. Every time I go into Half Price Books, I'll see if they have some new music concert DVDs that I want to pick up fairly cheap. On this bookshelf,
man, I hope you don't never have to move. Oh my gosh, that's so much stuff to move. You know how many friends you would have to offer pizza? Yo, I tell my friends nowadays, look, I'm sorry, man. I cannot help you move. I am almost 40 years old. I would rather chip in on getting a U-Haul or chip in on some movers or contribute that way. I can't be helping you move. Like, my back gonna go out, like, for real. It made me think about Seinfeld. If you watch that, I can't remember the episode where Jerry met his favorite baseball player. And he was like, he wants me to help him move on the first day. He's like, that's like sex for men. Yo, that's facts.
over here I have a bunch of loose and boxed Atari 2600 games, as well as some Intellivision games. Maybe there's some ColecoVision games.
I've been going so off tangent on this video. ADHD hitting me hard. So this video is going to be for people who really rock with me. Otherwise, it's just getting a ton of dislikes. One of the two.
In there, as well as, I guess, just more random big box PC games. And as you can see, I've also decorated the room, well, starting with a bunch of Star Wars figures, both old and new, but also some game-related ones. Got some Matrix, got some Kiss Ducks, and just a bunch of other cool stuff. This section right here is all magazines. Most of them are gaming. There are some music ones in there. And then there's a bunch of strategy guides as well. And then to the right of that are all of my music CDs.
Yo, man, he got, this takes a lot of time and a lot of money. This takes a lot of time and a lot of money.
Now, I don't really play CDs very much. I mostly am a streaming guy, or I play vinyl records, but I do have a decent selection of, music CDs I just didn't ever want to get rid of. I do really dig these mini arcade machines that are from New Wave Toys. So you see Darth Vader and also Greedo playing some Dragon Slayer, as well as some 1942. I think these are pretty cool. And then behind Vash the Stampede is yet another storage area in there. Oh man, yeah, it's a mess. It's a
just get rid of some of the boxes, man. If you don't plan on ever reselling it or whatever, just get rid of the box. You don't gotta hold on to all these boxes.
Total mess. If I ever have to find anything, it's like I have to pull all that crap out just to get something that's way down at the bottom. Moving on to the third room is what I call my office. That's where I edit all my videos, as well as shoot, videos sometime. And this is another example of where I really wanted to, kind of really rethink how it looks and feels in this room. So for the most part, the shelving is exactly the same, but I've definitely moved some games around and things like that. While the other room had a lot of big box PC games from, say, the 80s and into the 90s, this is mostly just big box PC games from the 90s to maybe 2005, something like that. And while I've had these MS-DOS and Windows machines sitting underneath the second table here for quite a while, they weren't actually set up and ready to be used. And so what I did...
Oh, an MS-DOS computer. That would be something cool to get.
Was I dug out of storage that IBM flat screen CRT and hooked everything up. And so now at a moment's notice, I can very easily play either of these. And that's kind of what I wanted, because unless things are easy to access,
That's super nostalgic right there.
you know, you won't make the time. And so I didn't want that. I want to be able to walk in here and play some classic PC games. Speaking of which, over here I am displaying 3 classic computers, including the original Commodore SX64. Next to that, the beautiful Apple Cube. And next to that,
Yo, that's got to be a sturdy shelf to hold that iMac.
well, the original iMac. Right there's my main computer that I use for editing video. That's a 2019 Apple iMac. Oh yeah, and you're probably wondering, is that a Cyberpunk 2077 chair? Yes, it is. Yeah, I needed a new chair, and I was all about the hype for that game, so I bought it. And yeah, you know, it's a nice chair. It actually looks pretty cool. I love the design on the back of it, but it's also a little embarrassing. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, the game definitely ended up redeeming itself, right? With patches, right? And as you can see, I started decorating my office area a little bit, bringing some personality in here and my love for fast cars. And so you see a bunch of die-cast replicas of Porsches, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Corvettes, basically, you know, every exotic sports car that I love that I'll probably never be able to afford to own other than
Yo, them all clean right there.
in this, you know, small form. But it's been really fun kind of collecting these over the years. For years, I've had a bunch of 45s, and, you know, truth be told, I don't have a jukebox, and so I don't really play 45s very often. So one of the things I started to do was basically use them as decoration, putting them on the walls. So you see a bunch of Iron Maiden 45s there. They actually re-released a bunch of these kind of collector versions of them. And so I don't have all of them. I'm missing probably 2 or 3, but that's a good chunk of them right there. And then here you have more storage. This is where I keep a lot of box consoles. Some of the consoles are actually out. Some of them are in here.
Throw them boxes away.
This is just a mishmash of monitors. There's a couple old PCs in here. I keep most of my power supplies and you know, video connection cables and adapters. There's a little bit of everything in here. So anyways, guys, that's a quick look at my game rooms or
A quick look.
game floor for 2022. And
Oh, he's got a black cat. For those of you all who don't know, I had 2 black cats, Pepper and Jalapeno. They no longer live with me anymore. It was causing asthma and allergy problems with family members. So they went to a lovely home. But every time I see a black cat, I think about Pepper and Jalapeno. Oh, I love them so much.
as you can see, it's an
They're on a lot of the earlier videos.
ever evolving thing. And I've said it before in other game room tours, and I'll say it again here, that a lot of the things that are in my game room, you know, are because of viewers like you. You know, you've reached out to me over the last years or decades with donations or trades, or maybe you'll sell me something really cool. Maybe, you know, we'll do something at an expo. I mean, it's just so much of it is because of the awesome retro gaming community. And so I want to thank you for that. I really, really appreciate it. And as you can see here, I mean, it's my favorite place in the whole world. I love it.
I bet it is. Yo. So if you thought you had a game room, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that was dope. That was dope. Let me know. What did you all think of that? Was it too much? Was it not enough? Was it just right? You feel me? I think that it's really dope, you know? But also, let me know, what did you think about the random video of the bear? Also, do you want me to throw in other random videos that I come across? We'll call that, like, you know, some ADHD segments. Let me know if you want me to start including some of that stuff in the videos. All right, I appreciate you guys. God bless and salutations to the nations. Please make sure that you like and subscribe. I'm on my journey to my first 1,000 subs, okay? If you subscribe, you can see how to win a Trim UI brick in the post. I appreciate you all. Peace.
Angel Knot.